photographs that could damage his image.
Al mio gruppo e alla mia famiglia sono tra i nostri decisi critici. Perché? Perché?
I hate the fact that this guy is representing my country. I can't take it. I mean, I'm personally offended by the fact that this, buffoon, this joker is, the most powerful man in Italy. It's totally reckless. We live in a videocracy. 80% of Italians get their information from TV. TV is easy to control because it's a top-down kind of medium, right? I'll tell you my story and you just have to passively accept it, right? And there was a survey not too long ago and they basically interviewed teenagers and their dream is to become Evelina. Evelina is basically a dancing girl on a Berlusconi show. So their biggest aspiration in life is to dance practically naked on a TV show. And when you read this kind of surveys, this kind of you kind of lose hope. It's like, okay, if the dream of the average girl is to become sort of a dancer for Berlusconi, there's something deeply wrong about this country. The frequent sex scandals that have Berlusconi as protagonists are embarrassing and offensive. I mean, the fact that he has these orgies with underage girls, and he considers that to be even funny. I think it just shows how tragic the situation is in Italy. I mean, he's a repeated offender. And yet, half of the country is sort of going along with this, yeah, just having fun kind of a mentality, which I think is even more detrimental.
Das einzige demokratische Land ist, in dem der größte Medienunternehmer.
In Italy, 80% of the people get their daily information from television. If that television is not broadcasting all voices, people do not get the chance to make their own decision. That's basis democracy.
And for some reason in Italy has the lowest penetration of internet connection. Italy doesn't have Wi-Fi in bars. There aren't even bars that allow you to use your laptops and that shows how sort of strong the government can be in sort of slowing down the process, the process of modernization. Italy has a culture of violent hooliganism, which is now much worse than it used to be in England. And so, and again, it's because Berlusconi also is the president of AC Milan, one of the biggest teams, right? There's the deep corruption that you find in professional sports is also part of the culture as well. And so a few years ago, a few teams got demoted and a few people got arrested and titles were taken away. A sphere of meritocracy, the best players win. It's also corrupted. The games are rigged. The referees are bought, and so it's hard to believe in anything in Italy. It was the time when I sort of realized that, wow, I mean, I love the old American concept, much more than the Italian one. I find it much more appealing. Like the fact that you're walking down the street and people smile at you and they ask you how you doing, and even if they don't mean it, it's just etiquette and it's still great because in Milan, for example, nobody smiles. Everybody's always pissed and everybody's always rude. And Italy is an old country. All the powers right now is held by the old guard. You're considered young in Italy if you're a professor under 50, just to give you an idea. But the problem is that for so many Italians, they're so used to this kind of culture, and for them it's the only culture, it's the only lifestyle, the only way of living. And so they don't even realize that they're in the matrix, right? There are news of beatings and people being discriminated because they're homosexual in pretty much every day. It's a given, it's accepted that all the jokes are about homosexuality, and being called a faggot is the worst that could happen to you, but it's very common. I mean, it's part of the language. And racism, I mean, the problem is that Italy is 20 years behind the United States in terms of social and ethnic integration, and we have waves of immigrants coming from Northern Africa and Eastern Europe that are not integrated at all in the culture. And I felt like a stranger in my own country. It was, we reached a point of no return. We reached a point where the simulation took over reality. And so it's, you can either fight the windmills or leave.
L'Italia è il paese che amo. So quel che non voglio. L'Italia è il paese che amo. Vi dico che possiamo, vi dico che dobbiamo costruire insieme per noi e per i nostri figli.
And so what I've done with Berlusconi was basically mixing his speech to Lady Gaga's song and using the SingStar interface. And so I thought that we should perform Berlusconi's talk in karaoke environment, just because it's really a pop song. It's not really a political speech, and it showed how you can basically transform politics into a big spectacle just by doing a televised show announcing that you're saving the country from oblivion, right?
Do you know that you're using the same apparatus?
Right.
Yeah.
The same. Yeah. No, I know. It's the ultimate irony. It's all about images. It's all about impression management. It's all about how you present yourself. It's actually easier to manipulate and get an insane amount of power just by appearing on a screen or many screens, right? So yeah, that's why I think that Italy should be used as a cautionary tale.